Irvingman, watches shows sitting on his can. Tells a story, tells a joke, monetizes cause he's broke. Look out, here comes the Irvingman.
It's a cold, dark, lonely night in New York Harbor. On a certain ship, this poor dude apparently drew the short straw and got stuck standing watch.
Who goes there? Help!
Sometime after he woke up, several sailors were found unconscious with straws shoved up their noses. Spiderman hears the cry for help and swings over to see what he can do.
Knocked out. And my spider sense tells me whoever did it, walloping web snappers. But it looks like Blackbeard the pirate.
And indeed it is. They spar for a bit, but Blackbeard has places to go and people to see. I don't understand why sometimes Spider-Man just stands there and lets stuff hit him like that. Blackbeard is gone, but the belaying pin he hit Spider-Man with is there. It has initials on it, E.T., Edward Teach, Blackbeard's real name. If you're curious about the real guy, Simon Whistler did a biographics episode about him, and it's fascinating, but it doesn't help Spider-Man much. We'll follow Blackbeard to a familiar place.
Here's a treasure in jade for you. Have you ever seen a more hearty haul?
So Perafino is back and up to his old tricks. Blackbeard reports on the night's events.
Except for that Spider-Man.
We're not asking how an 18th century pirate knows who Spider-Man is.
My old friend Spider-Man, eh? Not even he can stop my master plan. Just think of it. History's greatest villains, all prepared to follow my orders.
History's greatest villains? I don't see the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Dr. Doom, or the Red Skull there. Your collection is a little lame, Perafino. He decides to rob a bank next. For that, he'll use history's greatest bank robber, Jesse James. Except Jesse James was better known for robbing trains than banks, but Perafino seems to know precious little about Jesse James in general. For example,
Oh, one more thing. If Spider-Man should try to interfere, shoot to kill.
going by all the photos I was able to find, Jesse James never wore a snidely whiplash mustache. He spent most of his life clean-shaven, and when he went straight and became Mr. Howard, he grew a mustache and goatee. But he never looked like this. The plain truth is, this guy is modeled after Wyatt Earp. He was not a villain. He made some mistakes, but he never robbed a bank. Not even under the alias Jesse James. Perafino's going about getting rich the wrong way. He should find a way to sell the lumps on people's heads. He'd make a fortune.
You wouldn't be thinking of robbing that bank, would you, cowboy?
James is the name, partner. Jesse James. And you wouldn't be thinking of trying to stop me, would you?
That would be why they gave him the mustache, because the twirling thing was a thing villains did, so there.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
All right. We'll play it fair and square. A real Western showdown.
A showdown of the type that never happened. He'll count to 3 and they'll draw. Give me a break. The vast majority of gunfights on record happened much like the so-called OK Corral gunfight. Nobody really wanted it. Somebody got antsy and did something stupid, and suddenly bullets are flying. A lot of them happened over card games. One of my favorites happened to Clay Allison, a hired gun who called himself a shootist. A disagreement rose over a hand, and the other guy went for his gun. He actually beat Allison to the draw, but his holster was under the table, and when he tried to bring the gun up, it caught on the edge of the table. That was the last thing he ever saw because Allison's bullet got him right between the eyes. The real Jesse James wouldn't have engaged in a stand-up fight like this. He preferred the odds to be on his side, and he killed more than one unarmed man. I don't know who this guy is supposed to be, but he ain't Mr. Howard. Almost nobody wore two pistols like that either. If they did, they didn't draw them both at the same time. According to an interview Wyatt Earp gave in the 1890s, the idea was to have an extra weapon handy so when the main one ran out of bullets, you didn't have to stop and reload after 6 shots. A right-handed man would empty his right pistol, put it away, take the left one in his right hand, and keep firing. That's assuming they're not all gooped up with spider webbing, of course.
Put your hands up, Spider-Man.
But it was Jesse James.
Now I've heard everything.
He ducked behind that car.
You're losing your grip, Spider-Man. It was you who hit me over the head and... Hey, what are you doing?
I've had enough guns for one night.
And besides, it's past Peter's bedtime. The next day, Jonah has the headline he's always dreamed of.
Spider-Man attempts bank robbery. Isn't that beautiful?
No, it isn't. Spider-Man wouldn't do such a thing.
Oh, no? Well, he was caught red-handed by the Watchman.
But what about Jesse James? The Watchman said, Spider-Man said...
That no good Spider-Man will go to any length to blame someone else.
And even Peter has to admit, Jesse James is a bit of a stretch. Parafino is tired of Spider-Man interfering with his plans. It's time to bring out the big gun.
The executioner of Paris.
Oui, my talents were perfected before the guillotine. I never failed.
My mistake, bring out the big axe. He may have never failed, but his success kind of depends on the subject holding still. That's not something Spider-Man is known for. As I said, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 4, you're cheating.
Sacre bleu, I have never failed.
There's always a first time.
Do not touch me.
Sure enough, he's made of wax. Spider-Man knows what that means.
Doesn't look like anyone's been here for years.
His spider sense didn't warn him about that because the plot told it not to.
Here are some more old acquaintances of yours.
Nothing personal, fellows, but...
My control box! You've destroyed it!
Yes, he knows. He was there when he did it. Has anyone ever told you you have a talent for stating the obvious? When all else fails, there's the good old tactic of throwing globs of wax at him. Well, that didn't work. What's plan C?
Someday, Spider-Man, I'll get you.
Next time, Gadget, I'll get you. Next time.
Good morning, Miss Brand.
Good morning, Mr. Jameson.
Help! Help! Don't shoot!
Mr. Jameson, what's wrong?
Please, Mr. James! Please, Mr. Pirate! Put away your weapons!
Mr. Jameson, they're only dummies. But this one's alive.
I could make the obvious joke about Jonah being one of the dummies, but I don't think I will. I don't always go for the low-hanging fruit. Sometime after he... It has... Yeah. And not all belaying pins have one of those. Wyatt Earp gave in the... Okay. Wyatt Earp gave in the... Why can't I say in the 1890s? Hazel, you're not being very cooperative. I'm going to report you to the union.